Hello, and in this part 2 video I'm going to look at the following topic. Describe how you try to concentrate when you are working or studying. You should say what you do, when you do it, where you do it, and explain how you feel afterwards. This is a fascinating topic to talk about because this is something that has changed as I have got older. When I was studying in school and college, I used to study whilst listening to music. I found that if I didn't listen to something, my mind would wander, and I found it impossible to focus. Interestingly, as I have got older, things have changed immensely. As the years have passed, my methods have changed. Now if I need to focus on something, any background music is distracting. Nevertheless, I occasionally start by putting on a Spotify playlist, and after about 20 minutes, I admit defeat and accept that the music is not helping, and I just need to have silence and get on with it. There is an exception to that though, and that is if I'm doing something mind-numbingly boring, such as inputting data. Then the music actually helps. Another thing that's worth mentioning is the time of day that is better for me to get something done. Some people are morning people, early birds you could call them, whereas others are evening people, who could be called night owls. Personally, I find that if I have to do something that requires concentration and focus, then my concentration skills are better in the morning. If I have something to do which I know demands great powers of concentration, then I will get up at the crack of dawn before everyone else in the house has woken up. By doing this, I can ensure that there will be no distractions, no kids to pester me, and then I can just get on with it. When there are too many people around in the house, I struggle to focus, therefore I'll get up incredibly early and get it done. After I get the job done, I feel a tremendous sense of satisfaction, which is great. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the language and grammar used in this topic. So I've started it. This is a fascinating topic to talk about because I didn't actually find it fascinating at all. I found it an incredibly difficult topic to talk about, but I needed an opening sentence, so I used this. You can see with the grammar, we've got a lot of present perfect. IELTS examiners love present perfect because it's quite a difficult tense for non-native speakers to use. So if you're good at it, remember to use it. Got my old favourite, when I was studying in school and college. It's a great way to get some past continuous in there. And then you can use used to. I used to study. Whilst, when we use whilst and follow it with a verb, we put it in the ing form. Whilst doing this, whilst watching TV, whilst having my breakfast. This is a very good idiomatic phrase. My mind would wander, or if you say my mind wanders in the present tense. I've used would here in the same way as I would use used to for a repeated action in the past. And when you say your mind wanders or your mind would wander, what you're saying is that you start thinking about other things and you're not focused, you're not concentrating. So it's a very good idiomatic expression for this topic. Remember to use your comment adverbs interestingly, surprisingly, fascinatingly. Very good to just add to your range of vocabulary, and they're part of your fluency and coherence because it makes it clearer what you're going to say next. Have changed immensely. This is like saying a lot, but it's more complex, hugely. As the years have passed, this is another good time phrase to say that, the years have gone by. My methods, your methods are your way of doing something. Background music is music that you have on the background and that you're not technically listening to it, but it's there in the background. And I'm saying it's distracting. This means it's taking my attention away from what I'm doing. A playlist, quite a modern word. When we download music, we tend to put them in playlists now rather than listen to a full album. So it's just a list of songs that you like listening to. It's a very good idiomatic expression here, to admit defeat, and this is to say, no, this isn't working, and to accept that something isn't working. To get on with something just means to do it, and it's a good phrasal verb. An exception is something that's different to something else. And so I'm saying if I'm doing something mind-numbingly boring, much better than just saying boring, mind-numbingly. This means incredibly boring. Inputting data, so you're just basically putting numbers or things into a computer and it doesn't require any thought or brain power. Remember to have your discourse markers to say that, I'm going to make another point here. Another thing that's worth mentioning is early birds and night owls. An early bird is exactly what I've said here. An early bird is a person who gets up early, and a night owl is a person who's better working late at night. Your concentration skills is your ability to concentrate. And we use this expression, powers of concentration. It's how good you are at concentrating. It demands great powers of concentration, so you have to really focus when you're doing this thing. It's a very useful expression for other topics as well, to get up at the crack of dawn. And at the crack of dawn means very early. It's very idiomatic, it's very complex, and would impress IELTS examiners in IELTS speaking. To pester someone means to keep asking them something, or children pester their parents when they want them to buy something like a new pair of trainers. So very useful for any essays about children or advertising or other topics. We often talk about pester power, and that's the power that children have by pestering their parents to get them to do something. If you struggle to do something, you find it very difficult to do something. So a useful expression for speaking and writing, I struggle to focus. And a sense of satisfaction is like a feeling of, you feel good after you've done it. And I'm just making it a little bit more complex by adding a complex adjective, a tremendous sense of satisfaction. Really hope you found this video useful. I sat for quite a while thinking what to write about. It's one of those really difficult ones. You could say 3 sentences about how you concentrate, but it's very difficult to talk about for 2 minutes. So I've tried to throw in as much vocabulary as I can, and I've talked about, the getting up early to help my concentration. We've got the music aspect, music or no music. It's very, very difficult, as are a lot of the current topics in IELTS, to think of what to say. So good luck if you get this topic. It's a really very, very difficult one. So try to remember phrases like early bird, night owl, concentration skills, distractions, a sense of satisfaction, to get up at the crack of dawn. These are very useful phrases for this topic. Thank you for watching.